All right. Welcome back. Stickscast number 20.
You gonna finish that, Nils?
I thought I was kind of hoping you would, just to
Oh, Sound
yeah.
of
Hold on, hold on.
Metal.
All right, here we go. Oh no,
Here we
that's
go.
no the number. Oh, God. Is it 27 or
Oh,
is it?
I don't know
That's
the
what
number.
I'm saying. It's clearly not number 20. That's the whole point of it was. Oh my God. Sticks. Let's look it up. Sticks cast. Wait, so Isaac, you say it, and then I'll finish it.
All right. Welcome back to Stickscast, episode 20. No.
7. There we go. I forgot. So it used to be when you search Sticks cast on YouTube, our stuff would always
I
show
know, I
up.
know. We have imposters. Yeah, we got those fucking computer nerd
I
bitches.
know, but now we are no longer on there. So it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stickscast does not pop up if you search Stickscast on YouTube.
They're trying to silence us.
Yeah. Well, I think should big elephant in the room, Isaac. Our last video on our episode on Brokeback Mountain
Mhm.
had an insane, well, for our channel standards, an insane amount of views.
No, it
Um
was insane. It by any standard, it was insane. Yeah.
so I mean, yeah, we're currently at 338. I don't know what, maybe that just popped up. Maybe more people were like, "Oh, Brokeback."
It's a great movie.
It is. It's very interesting. Of all the movies we've covered, this is the one that broke through. But I don't know. I don't know what it's commenting on. You have any guesses?
People just want to see two passionate men love each other.
Amen to that. There's not enough love in this world. Where's the
Exactly.
love?
Amen.
All right, where is the love,
You know,
Fergie?
that's actually a pretty good transition into what I wanted to talk about. Here, can you let me share my screen?
Of
Because I got some
course,
news for you. I got
of
some news for you
course. Okay,
that you're gonna
go
get a
for it.
kick out of, hopefully. All right. So, the recent news on Burundi recently is that
Oh, wait.
there's a radio show that was critical of their government, and the host of that show was put in prison for 10 years.
Whoa. Oh no, it's going back downhill. What ever since 2023, it's now just bad headlines. Oh, that's horrible.
Yep, yep. So I I love Burundi, and I'm very grateful we get to cover all facets of life.
Oh,
Anyway,
well,
yeah,
luckily we're covered by the American defense system, so
yep.
maybe this will be the one free speech outlet for Burundi. Is this
Jesus
podcast.
Christ. Oh my
So
God.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I
So
know,
that
right?
they
Anyway,
were.
back to our movie podcast.
Well, okay, well, no, okay, well, I feel like that's hold on. We can't just dip out of that.
Well, do you want to learn more about it? All right, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So mm, she was convicted under a code, Article 611 of Burundi's criminal code. And its original purpose was to convict mercenaries.
Mm.
And then yeah, she was tossed in prison for 10 years. And then she was also fined 100, sorry, not 100, a million Burundian francs, which is about 450 euros.
Okay.
Um, Trumped up charges is one of the headlines. Um, okay. And then held for months without charge. Okay. So she was a host on a web radio, uh, which was part of an association of Burundi's living life in self-exile. So like in Rwanda. And then so like she would invite well-known Burundi figures, often get government critics onto her show.
Mm.
And then she was arrested while visiting family in Burundi.
Wow,
So
that's horrible.
yeah, not great. I
Dang.
would say that's bad news, you know?
Yeah. Bad news. So we got cholera, and now we got one of their free thinkers going to jail for 10 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know how their court system works. Hopefully she's able to, the sentence changes, or maybe she's able to get out. Hope her the best. That's a bummer.
Do you think we could do like a prison swap?
Oh, yes, we should do that. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But where we this was a bit like a month ago. Remember we had with
Yeah.
Brittany Griner and then the Burundi. Oh my gosh!
Hey, we got her back. We got
Yeah,
her
we got
back.
her. All right, so who do we send over to get that radio host? Um,
Uh,
hmm, hmm.
well, see, I don't think we have any like of their. I don't think we have any citizens of Burundi sitting in like Guantanamo Bay, right?
Yeah,
Um,
let me hold on. I'm gonna look up most famous American Burundian. Let's see what
I
pops
don't
up.
I don't think Google's gonna have anything else. I don't think that's
Top
been a
10 most
thought that.
famous people from Burundi. Here we go. All right.
All
One's
right.
got to be in America, you know? Uh I'm going through this list until I see a name I notice. I don't know that one. There's a marathon runner from Burundi, but it's not in America. Oh, wait. Well, that's really old. Never mind. Oh, number 4 is their president. Um, they
Yeah.
gotta. Oh, didn't you say there's a tennis player? Something like that. Was that you?
I don't remember.
They have a big
Probably,
tennis
but I
player
just
from
don't
there.
remember. Okay.
So, um, yeah. Well, oh well. Well, we'll figure it out at some point. Um, take me instead. All right. So,
Anyway, let's speaking of uh silencing the press, we watched
oh,
Sound of Metal this week.
oh boy.
That was all right. That was
It
all
was all
right.
right. That was all right. I think it was from the. Yeah, no, that was good. That was good, actually. Good job, Isaac.
No, no. Uh Nils, you've seen this movie before, right?
No,
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
have
What
you
do you
seen
think?
it?
No, no, this is my first time.
Oh, okay. Um, I really liked it a lot.
Mm,
It was such a this movie's been on my like watch list for a while. I know it was really big, or it's really popular when it came out. Or had just good reviews, like an Oscar Best Picture nom.
right.
And I was like, oh, I kept wanting to watch it, and then um, I was very grateful for you mentioning it for Stickscast because like, oh yes, can finally watch Sound of Metal, and it lived beyond the hype. Didn't really know much besides a drummer dealing
Mm-hmm.
with like deafness, and that was it. And I think that's
Right.
kind of a perfect amount of info you want to know before heading into this movie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no, I really liked it. I only have like maybe like one. I almost gave it a perfect score. I just have like one-ish things that I'm like a little about, but we can get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Isaac?
I mean, it's a really good movie, like you said. I really liked it, and I mean, yeah, that's what I thought. It was really good. Yeah,
All right. Perfect.
yeah. I'm
Well,
sorry, I can't really expand on what you said. You know.
no, yeah. Okay. Well, okay, here. This is the obvious one we can get out the way, right?
Yeah.
The sound editing is goaded in this movie. It's like one of the few movies where I mean it is over the top, like most people will notice it, but like
Yeah.
even then it plays such a huge role for how like you will feel um in this film, especially near like I'd say the second half. Um
Mhm.
if the sound editing wasn't this good, then I don't think the movie would have worked as much.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think that's fair.
um, like that's just ooh, it's just so good. Um, and then, I don't know. Secondly, like Riz Ahmed is really really good in this movie. Um, he's I don't know. He got freaking jacked or ripped for this movie too. He has that like drummer bod. Especially the first like 30 minutes, I was like, God damn, he got because when I think of Riz Ahmed, I don't really think of like a super like ripped dude that I've seen in other stuff, but he's
Right.
got it, he's got it packing. So um and then let's think of a third big thing. Um I don't know. I was gonna get that's. I'm just trying to think of more like observational stuff. On it, was there are
Right.
they any other observational stuff you like really liked about it?
Uh, it was shot really well, which I say a lot, but like, it wasn't shot like, how do I explain this? Um, the way they shot it went with the way the sound was edited for it. So for example, like what you see like a lot of, right, is you see a lot of really wide shots where it's just like a really small part of the screen. The camera isn't really moving, he's moving across the frame and something's happening, right? But normally the what this movie does differently from other movies when they do that is that's when it has like you can hear everything, and
Mm-hmm.
then when it gets a lot closer to him and it's directly like following him and it feels like really cramped, that's when they muffled all the sounds.
Yeah.
Um, so I just really thought that was a good touch. Because it just emphasizes how like I guess condensed it is. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I really liked that. Like you said, sound editing was really good. Dude got dude got shredded. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I will say that like yeah, dude got shredded. Can't there's nothing else about it.
It was just like a refreshing new form of it. Like it kind of brought me it brought me back to like how it was in the 2000s where like the depiction of being shredded was like really skinny shredded,
Right.
right? Like nowadays, ever since I would say like Captain America, right? Like that has been now
Mhm.
that has been supposed to be like the goal now for all these dudes that get huge is it's mainly a really big buff or they just get really fucking swole. It's about the mass more than the fucking chisel, you know?
Right.
But Riz Ahmed brought it back, which is
Mhm.
pretty sick. And it like kind of most dude thing ever of like what we're super focused on is this dude's muscles. But
Hey, he put in the work. I think he deserves recognition.
I think it like there's it definitely adds to his character, right? Where like you clearly see because yeah, let's get into this because and this is the first part of the film too, right? Where it's I mean the guy's a metal drummer, right? And
Mhm.
it's revealed partially in the movie that he had a bad history with drugs, right?
Right.
And then it shows so well just in that first 20 minutes of like his daily routine that he's clearly still kind of like living off the daily routine as like he's in a current like rebirth of his life, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So like it seems clear that he is still kind of avoiding that history of that dark history of like drug relapse. So like he wakes up super early, has his green smoothie, does his 30 push-ups, you know, sticks to music. Like it just reminds me a lot of maybe of like someone who gets sober and you know they need something to, you know, keep them going with life, right? Does that make
Mhm.
sense at all? You know? And
Yeah,
then that's also a big thing then with his love interest too. Um Liu Lao
I think so. Yeah, low, maybe.
Low
I don't
Low.
know, man.
Yeah.
It didn't help that he only was like saying her name like at the start and the end of the movie, you know?
That's yeah. No, so that's what I think then makes it really work of all that character development, because then including right the him being in like this nice physique, right, where it's clear like he does this perfect workout routine in his bus thing. I think it's all perfect setup then for when the main conflict of this film of when he they realizes that he's become deaf, and it's almost like an instant thing. Because that deafness is instantly taking away the life that he was able to build for himself that got him away from the drugs, right?
Yeah.
So it makes the conflict so much more human, in a way. I like, and I'll say, like for me, I've never had a bad like history with drugs or anything, but I'm also a very like, how do I say this? I'm very oriented towards like having like a same fixed like kind of schedule of things. I like my daily routines, right? Like I like to travel, but I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I want to go on like a big month travel with just like a backpack and wherever life takes me and stuff like that. Or like even I'll enjoy to like party, but I also hate like if I go party, then that means it's gonna mess up my next day a lot, with just how things are. So I can sort of see in terms of like the life he made for himself in the first half of the film. I kind of like to live too, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry. And I've been rambling on for a while.
You're doing good.
But, no, and so then I think that's when, at least I don't want to get into spoilers as of yet, unless we have more to say, but like how then he deals with the deafness and the journey of that, I found to be really, really fucking beautiful and interesting. And I wasn't expecting there to be so much mindfulness and Buddhist concepts in this film. Because I took my last quarter, I took a class on mindfulness and Buddhism. So
really,
yeah, saw a lot of that in this film. And I don't want to give away too much until we get into spoilers, but I just thought this probably is one of the most mindful Buddhist movies I've ever seen. At least for me. But yeah.
Shit. Okay then. All right. I'll take your word for it.
I don't know, Isaac, is there
a lot of signs of Judaism in here, so
Huh?
I didn't see a lot of signs of Judaism in there, so I guess I'll take your word for it.
No, yeah. What would be a movie that has a lot of Judaism?
Adam Sandler movies, mainly.
Or
what else is there?
What else is there?
Did you ever see that Christian Bale Exodus Gods and Kings? That was a Jewish movie.
Oh yeah, that's a Jewish movie.
Well,
no, it's just like Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
And so both Jews and Christians and Muslims share the Old Testament, right?
Yeah. But
there we go. But you guys see the Old Testament a bit differently, right?
Dude, the dude like leaves, like he goes across. He gets the what the fuck am I saying? Cool movie. That that might be our next week. That might be our next week or week after. Yeah, week after.
Well, we'll see. Well, okay. So if you still want to do Shark Tale, I'm down, right? But
yeah, of course,
we need to figure out some schedule around Magic Mike 3 at all. I will be so sad if we don't figure.
Oh, actually, we can't do Valentine's Day because it comes out. Wait, it comes out the 10th, right?
Yes. So we could do that.
Valentine's
that could be Valentine's Day special. So
I'm gonna have to like buy a hooker, but yeah.
What for the movie or for the podcast?
Oh no, for sorry.
Okay. Well. Oh wait, you're good. Isaac, have you seen have you seen Prince of Egypt?
I haven't.
That's
How is Prince of Egypt?
Well, because that's also like that's Exodus, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That's DreamWorks too. You would like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
I
So
liked DreamWorks movies.
no. DreamWorks is good. That's why I'm saying it's even better.
Well,
So
of course you think that. Shrek 2 is like your holy grail.
yeah. And then after quick input here. Puss in Boots 2. God damn, that shit's hot. It's worth all
Oh
the
yeah.
praise it's getting. So happy I watched that on like a rainy Sunday. DreamWorks is back. So freaking good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't I like think I maybe saw the first movie.
Good decade ago.
Yeah, and I don't remember anything from it, and I'm like, I'll just leave that in the abyss of
Mhm.
my memory. But the second one, holy shit, I didn't. It was just so good. Like I would treat it as like Shrek, Shrek 2, Puss in Boots 2. Those three are
Wow.
in that like special. Like Shrek 2 is still the best one, but then it's definitely like Puss in Boots 2 is probably better than Shrek and the like
Okay.
those holy grail of or holy trinity of stuff. Um
All right.
yeah. But okay. So Isaac, do you have anything else you want to say about Sound of Metal before like spoilers?
No, no, I'm good.
Cool. Well then now
Someone just
not
go he in the background.
yeah, it's probably my one of my roommates in the kitchen right now. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought there was like yeah, that scared the shit out of me, man. I thought there was like a clown.
No, someone's just under the
Yeah.
bed. Um
Oh yeah.
oh Isaac, I just realized since your roommate moved out, you don't have anything on the wall anymore.
Yeah. No, he's gone.
Do
This
you
is
have
all his
anything on the
shit,
other side?
What do you mean? Yeah, I got like all my stuff.
Oh, you want to show it?
It's I can't my sorry, my computer's like
Okay,
plugged in behind
I see
the
the Van
desk right
Gogh
now.
skeleton.
There's so that's a Van Gogh, that's a Van Gogh. That's just a cool thing. And then this is those are French. Um and then yeah,
Also, I just
it's a good
realized. Oh,
stuff we
whoa!
got here.
I just realized I said skeleton of instead of skeleton. Um,
Really?
so that's
All right.
a little cringe, but it's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We grow.
fuck, I don't wait. Quick water sip before I delve into my Sound of Metal spoilers discussion.
Of course. Give them some time to, X out of the video.
You hear that?
Yeah. Can we start doing ASMRs on the channel?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Unless
Why not?
what do you want it to be
Why
about?
not?
What would the ASMR like?
What
What
do you
subject?
mean? ASMRs aren't about stuff. It's just sounds, man.
No. Like, did
There
I
isn't
tell you?
plot.
No. Did I tell you there's a YouTube channel that covers like does NFL weekly reviews, but he does an ASMR.
That's wait, what?
Yeah, you know, like YouTube channels that they cover each like week of
No,
like.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't know why he would do that.
I don't really get it. Like, it seems more of like a novelty thing, and then it's like
Yeah.
and then I don't know why you like keep up, um, with the material. So, but anyways, Sound of Metal. Here's a good sidetrack. So as what happens later on in the film, he goes to a deaf rehab clinic out in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, I don't wanna, and then he eventually, goes and he kind of learns the ways of being like present. Um, and a lot of the methods he's doing are like methods of mindfulness in and of itself. So like one example is when there's all this angry like energy with him, right? When he like lashes out, right? Like he'll have these periods where he's just kind of living normal, right? And then he'll just lash out at stuff, scream, kick stuff around, right? And that's not a healthy way to deal with your energy and mind state. So the rehab guy recommends just sit down and you just write. And that gives a lot of your time then to observing your thoughts, memories, and judgment, or thoughts and memories and emotions,
Right.
but without judgment. And that's kind of like a key principle to mindfulness, because mindfulness is recognizing the gap between society and everything around you and your inner emotions like trigger, right? Because if you don't have, if you're not mindful of that gap, life will then feel way out of control for you. And so that's what you see with Ahmed, right? When he's with his deafness, is at first when he becomes deaf, he feels life has gone back out of control. At the beginning of the film, he thought he could get it back, when he had controlled like his substance abuse and all that, was living a normal life, and then spiraled out of control again, spilled out. And then you see when he's back in this rehab clinic that he's able to kind of zero in on again. He's practicing mindfulness. And then sadly, even though he realizes that, like a lot of people would, he still gets a like surgery done, right? To be able to hear again. And then he does it, and the rehab guy is really sad. And he's like, "At here, being deaf is not a disability, so I can't really have you be here anymore." And he gives that great final speech, right? Of like, I don't, Isaac, if you can remind me what exactly it was, God, it was, tell me, but it was something like, with the world's always spinning, right? So it doesn't, there's like, fuck. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like crying.
No, no, I don't. I mean, I know what scene you're talking about. I don't remember
Oh, it
don't
just
remember that one. Sorry,
it
man.
just helps to kind of, basically the essence of it, right, was like, even the world is spinning, right, insanely fast, right? And so us humans are not meant to, we do not have the brain capacity to be trying to follow how society's going and all that and keep up the pace. It just destroys our brains, right? So you need to
Right.
eventually just realize and be present at the moment of where you're at, because that's just the healthy thing to do. Um, and so you can tell that Riz Ahmed doesn't really get it. And then when he gets that transplants thing, the way he hears shit, it sounds horrible. And that's what we're talking about with the sound editing, where it's just like, oh, it makes the way they do it, I'm like, God, please just make me fucking deaf again. I hate this. I hate it. And then he goes to Paris or France. You're like, oh, God, it's all these vroom
Right.
vroom, oh, but like all this. It's like, shut up, God. And then he goes to a European party, looks like one of the worst parties ever, where all you do is stand and talk the whole time, and you can see how that's what you're talking about, Isaac, with like the camera stuff, right? And it's like, oh God, it just made me feel too real, like, and uncomfortable. It's like, this is just awful, and you hear that annoying sound, and you realize that him and the love interest have kind of grown apart, um, and it's just like, oof. But the way they kind of handled that was really cute, or not cute, but it's very pretty. Of like, they were still. It could have been so cliche of maybe like her like cheating on him, right, or something like that. Like, has a
Yeah.
new boyfriend, but instead it was just like, I'm sorry. And he's like, thank you. It's okay. It was a very like sweet way to make it so it's like no one's the bad guy. It's just like a lot of time happened. So the world kept spinning. Um, but yeah, so it really, and then he's walking back on the street of France. It's awful there. You're like, oh God, the sound. No, stop. And then he finally turns it off again. And I don't know about you, but like the moment he turned off that hearing thing, I felt like so good. And it's just a perfect ending to a movie. Um, Holy shit. It's just like it says a lot about mindfulness. It shows the pain of mindfulness, of like, it's not this like, ooh, hippy dippy. I'm like, smoke weed and I just want to relax all day. It's like, no, being mindful is also a very painful process. But it's a more lovable process than anything else. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Um
Well said, I would say.
so yeah. I don't know. Do you have any like spoiler stuff you wanted to say?
I think another theme I really liked is how actually how do I say that? I don't know. I think while it probably it did end really well. Like you said, I don't think there's a lot I don't think there's a way they could have ended it better. Um God, so it's such a sad movie. I mean, because he's going from he's like living, he's literally like in a metal band. He's the
Yeah.
drummer for a metal band. That's like sick. He's doing all that. He's happy, all great. Loses like 75% of his hearing.
Yeah.
And then at that point, that's when the whole path of like, oh yeah, so I want like, and then he couldn't drum, right? Because if he
Mm,
drummed more, he would lose more hearing. Um, and that started him down the path of, okay, so I need to get this, so that fixes that, and then I can go back to like living the life I want. And
mm,
obviously throughout the movie you see that change, and eventually it gets bad enough that he finally gets what he wanted, but it still wasn't as good as it was before. And
yeah.
he like preferred, like, the whole journey basically was a, I wouldn't say it was a waste, because that's where all of his development came from, but like I think that type of arc is really just like, it's just sad, because it just feels like he did all that for nothing. Even though
Yeah.
obviously probably for the best. But yeah, just sad.
Yeah.
Great movie though. Great, phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. I like I think it's at a perfect split of being sad but also incredibly beautiful in a way of like
Hmm.
kind of also the magic of life too.
Right.
His like yeah, the his goal, the outcome of what like the destination he wanted didn't really go that well, but the journey along was something so sweet and not perfect, but it was very like um it became a very like beautiful experience and healthy experience for him that I think he still needed even before. Not that he need people need to go deaf, but like I think he still needed something like that to really recover from maybe his history of drugs and stuff. And even then, like, God, it is really depressing when they're just like hanging out and it's just not the same. Um, but the outcome of it is still as like good as it can get, and it's clear like I don't think he was really in a um it was it was good, like in kind of a way it was kind of a good ending because it resolved this like whole thing he had, because I think also secretly maybe he kind of moved on, but he's like, no, I gotta finish this plan I set out for myself. So in a way
Hmm.
kind of just it's a nice solution to this whole thing he had going on you know
Hmm.
um
Yeah.
So, I was so this would be a perfect movie for me, but I'm gonna have to say, so I first kind of like had in my head, I was like, and then I saw someone on Letterboxd say it. I was like, okay, I'm not alone. So for the sake of the film, right, you have the hearing transplants, right? They're depicted as like negative devices, right? Like when he has them in that hearing, it's considered just like this horrible act, right? In a way
Mhm.
where it's
Right.
it's a practical and like normal thing anyone would do, but then it makes it seem like if you have that type of hearing, you were just it's just awful. I'm like, I
Hmm.
know there's like a lot of people that have gotten those implants. I don't know how like I wonder how like they feel, right, where their choice of lifestyle is just getting absolute shit on right now.
Hmm.
And yeah, I saw like one or two people that are like, yeah, this is kind of fucked up. It's just not like
Okay.
that. So I don't know if I feel comfortable like giving a perfect score to a movie that's using the like commotion and busyness and like heavy burden of life, um
Hmm.
putting it on a real life medical procedure that like normal people get and are totally happy with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. So that was the only reason I was like, it's not a perfect movie. So,
Fair enough. Yeah.
oh well. But
Maybe next time. You know.
mm-hmm.
When was the last time you had a perfect movie on here?
On the Stickscast or on
Oh yeah, on Stickscast.
uh let's think. So it'd be a 5. It would have been
Mm-hmm.
Trek 2, but Danny and you messed that one up.
I don't know what
Um
you mean by messed up. That was the best one.
yeah, it was a good prank. Let's see. Let me go through the list of what we watched. I don't think I gave Tokyo Godfathers a 5. I'm pretty sure it's a 4.5. Let me see.
Yeah,
Excuse
it's
me.
not 5.
No? You know, oh yeah. Um Definitely didn't get Pitch Perfect. Oh, well, I don't think it's allowed to do our favorites of 2022. You know? Is that allowed? Because then there would be a 5 on there.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No, no, no,
Let it just be
no.
everything everywhere all at once. Although we haven't
Yeah.
done that here. Shit. I don't know
I
where it
think
is. I don't think you've ever had a 5-star on this.
Lyle Crocodile. Oh, did I give Rise of the Planet of the Apes a 5? That is a good question. Hold on.
That is a good question. Yeah.
When did we do that? That
That was a long
was
time ago.
Rise is 4.5. Damn it. Um, did I give I think I gave Old Boy a 5.
Okay.
Let me see. That was like,
That's early. That's like 2 or 3.
yeah, I gotta
I think it's
scroll
3 because it
really.
was Tooth Fairies too.
So
Yeah.
maybe when we did the podcast, maybe it was 4.5, but I have it here. I raised it up to a 5. So
Okay.
um I don't know. Is there anything on here that you've given a 5?
Bullet Train.
Oh, but oh yeah, did we do a 6 cast? We did do a 6 cast. I remember that.
Yeah. It
Oh
was the last one of summer, you know.
man. Oh well, Isaac, what would you give the Sound of Metal?
I think I gave it a 4.
Cool. I gave it a 4 as well. So
I'm on a hot streak. All right.
woo. Yeah, actually, we have been on a really good hot streak.
I think it's like 3 or
Um,
4 now.
I'm interested to know how Shark Tale changes things up for us, but that
Yeah, man. Me too.
um that'll be for time to come. Well, Isaac, do you have anything more to say, or should we just cut it now?